Great. So it's time to get started. Hello,
This
everybody. Can I
meeting
see
is
you
being
all
recorded.
waving your hand with a big smile on? Welcome, welcome. Are you all excited? Let's begin this session with a lot
Yes.
of excitement. Yes. So let's begin with hand exercises so that let's bring in some focusing and concentration ability and sync our mind and body together. So everybody position and let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Let's go to the second hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rub your hands. Let's go to the second exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift over to the other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rub your hands. Let's go to the third exercise. Everybody position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on. Just realign your hand. One more round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rub your hands. Let's go to the fourth exercise. Everybody position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just realign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rub your hands. Let's go to the fifth exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rub your hands. Let's go to the next exercise. Come on, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift over to the other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rub your hands. And the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift over to the other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rub your hands and rub it across your body. Welcome everybody to an exciting inner circle call. Today we're going to be focusing on your thinking pattern. And about the thinking pattern, let's have a little conversation about it. Today's session is all about understanding our processing system. Say this word, everybody. Processing system. So what is processing? Processing is anything which comes in and it processes and it gives you a specific outcome. For example, if I'm going to acknowledge Madhav, Madhav, you're looking great today. So that means I gave the insight, I gave the input, and the Madhav's mind is going to process it. His thinking pattern is going to process it, and there's going to be a specific outcome out of it. So how do you find out what is your processing system? How do you process information? So not only information, there are 4 important aspects we identify when we look into your thinking pattern. First one is how you learn anything. So when I'm looking at your thinking pattern, I understand what is your thinking ability. That means how do you learn anything? So do you take time to learn? Do you require repetition? Are you somebody who pick up things even before it's been explained? Are you always in a hurry when it comes to gathering information? Or are you going to be looking for documentation, written references, or pictures? So all these things is nothing but your learning ability. Number 2 is your decision-making ability. How do you decide things? Do you do your own, dilly-dally, or are you going to be really looking for other people's references, reviews, insight? Or are you somebody who's going to, sit down and do all the calculations on your own? Or are you somebody who's analytical in that approach? So this is how you're going to take your decisions. Number 3 is how do you manage your emotions? Do you, fly off with your emotions, or do you apply the processing system also on your emotions? So basically what I mean to say is, do you react or do you respond? Do you react or do you respond? And number 4 is how you deal with your entire communication also. For example, if somebody gives you a compliment, how do you respond to that? If somebody criticizes to you, how do you respond to that? So all these things is part of your thinking pattern. So today's session, we're going to be focusing on this in a deeper Great. So I want to give you a clear cut, example of how do you look at a analytical thinker. So what is in front of you right now is, this is a handwriting sample. Look at this, everybody. Now, this is a V formation. We are looking at a V formation, especially happening at the base of the handwriting. Now, you can look at this. Now, you can tell me the V formation is happening here. Can you see that there? So we are looking at the V formation happening at the base of the handwriting. So you see this V formation there? You see this V, okay? You will also see somewhere, okay, a little bit of cumulative I may be able to see, Imran, a little bit of wedges I'm able to see. Now, look for the larger content. Look for consistency. How many of you are able to see this person has a V formation, especially at the baseline? You see this V formation? So now let me show you what do I mean by V formation at the baseline. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you especially what do you mean by V formation. So assuming this is your baseline, and if you're writing your V, I'm looking for a V which is like this. You see this? V formation at the baseline. I'm not looking at a V formation here because this is not connected to the baseline. This is not connected to the baseline. So I am basically looking at V formation at the baseline. So that is analytical thinker. But you know what? Eventually the person who's writing, he will also start writing there. So even if he's writing the N, you will see the V formation there. Even if he's writing the H, you will see this V formation there. So I'm talking about this V formation. So he is analytical. He is analytical. So what is analytical thinkers? So I want you to know 3 things about analytical thinkers. Okay, and I'm going to give you 3 things in every area of their life. Now let's look at this. When it comes to taking decisions, analytical thinkers have this beautiful ability of enjoying a process of taking a decision. You give him a scenario, he will come and tell you, Imran, if you increase the fees from 5,000 to 10,000 rupees, these are the pros. And if you don't increase it, these are the cons. So he will love to do this, calculations. So if I say yes, this will happen. If I say no, this will happen. This is one way. If you're traveling with this person, he will have everything jotted down. Okay, we're starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock, we'll stop for the breakfast in that particular restaurant. 1 o'clock, we'll reach the destination. And this is all. So he would love to see all this, writing down and things like that very concretely. So this is analytical person. Now the question is, Imran, I am not an analytical person. I also do that. So you might be doing it, but analytical people do this naturally to them. And they're known for that. Number 2, when it comes to, listening to information, seeing information, these are the people who are very good at finding faults. Very good at finding faults. That means, they don't do it because they want to find faults. They have this beautiful ability ki unhi ko nazar aata hai wo. You buy the best of saree, something might be different there. These are the only people who can see that. Hamare nazar nahi aaya. I did not see that. You got the bill, he will go through the bill and say, see, he put this extra. We did not buy this. You never pay attention to all this. That person will only see that. And it's not like he's searching for a problem. No, he has this beautiful ability of finding faults. You give him the best of offer, he will tell you something is wrong there out of it. So they have this beautiful ability of finding bad in any good. Finding bad in any good. Okay, so 2 things over. Now, when it comes to, managing their anger, managing their emotions, so they are analytical there also. What? Okay, Madhav, if I give him too much of appreciation, वो Madhav है ना, उसका दिमाग खराब हो जाएगा, उसको appreciation देंगे that day. So can you see that I'm analyzing it and I'm calculating when I will give the acknowledgement also. Okay, I'm upset with Preeta. I'm the way I'm going to be using my temper is not now. I'm just not going to say it or blow my lid down. No, I know when to give it back to her. So can you see that I'm analyzing, I'm analytical in every aspect. So even temper, analytical people use it as a weapon. Only when they know it, how much to use it, कितना बोलना चाहिए, कब बोलने से क्या काम हो सकता है, सब हो जाए. They're not manipulative. No, not at all. But they have this beautiful maturity when it comes to emotions, communication, कब कितना बोलना है, कैसे बोलना है, they know about that. That's why people go to them when they have to take a decision which they don't want to be, in charge. They will go to analytical people because they will give you everything. They will tell you the good also, they'll tell you the bad also. Then you take the call of it. So can you see that? There's so many things to understand about an analytical person. Now, how will this person learn? Now, this person will not learn until he asks questions. Until he asks questions. He's not curious, but he's always looking for logic out of it. हाँ इमरान, आपने बोला 2 बजे वहां पे मिल लेंगे, अगर नहीं मिल पाएंगे तो प्लीज बताइए क्या करना है. ओके, आपने मुझे बताया कि 10 सैंपल लेके आना है, अगर मुझे 10 नहीं मिल रहे हैं, तो even before you take that step to find out the 10, you also want to know what if the 10 is not happening there. So the question to you is, now that you know this is how the people are, why take stress? Allow them to be themselves. You go to the shopping, you take that bill, you give it to that person. Yeah, dekhna kuch problem hoga. And he will eventually help you to do that. Okay, you want to take a decision, go discuss that with him. Before, don't take the decision. Before you take the decision, go share it with them. They will come out with, possibilities to you. They will at least make you feel confident, okay, karna hai ya nahi karna hai bol. So, utilize this ability what people are made up of. Because everything you only can't do it. See, the problem with most of our lives is we want to do everything. Okay, no, sometimes it's worthy to make that payment and utilize the services of the person who's good at doing that. Right? So this is about the analytical people. So the idea why am I sharing so much with you about the analytical people is that there's nothing right or wrong about it. There's nothing like good or bad about this. The idea about analytical people is that this is who they are. So the onus on us is that, can you really now deal with them the way they are, not what you think they are, not trying to fix it, there's no problem there. But मैं आपको ये भी बताना चाहता हूँ, when we're talking about a thinking pattern, as human beings, we have little bit of all the thinking patterns. Somewhere we are also surface, somewhere we are also little cumulative, somewhere we are also little comprehensive, somewhere. But for us, and the reason why we're using handwriting analysis on you is, rather than taking a little bit of everything, what is your most probable behavior? If I have to put, a dot on that, what is the dot? So as handwriting analyst, we are looking at the most probable behavior. We know that you have a sum of all these personality traits, but what is your core personality trait? Are you analytical? Are you a cumulative? Are you a comprehensive? This is what we're doing as a handwriting analyst. Are you all with me on that? Okay, thoda so sab mein aayega, because when I'm explaining, you think, Imran, I also have this, but I know, because little bit we are everything, but naturally who you are as a person. Okay, now everybody loosen up this. We all have both hands. Everybody show me both the hands. Okay, now if I throw something at you, so which hand will come forward? Your power hand will come forward. Okay, you're having a fall, which is the immediate hand which will go forward. It's your power hand. That's why, have you seen, when you are having a fall, the first thing gets impacted is your hand, because you put the entire body weight on your hand, because that's your power hand. So similarly, we also have two hands, but one hand which comes forward, which is your power hand, is similarly, we all have thinking patterns. One thinking pattern which comes forward is your power thinking. That's all. So that's your power hand. So which comes to you naturally. You don't even have to put in efforts. Similarly, all the traits, we have a little bit of everything. Temper we have, physical frustration, but what is your power part? Like ट्रेड क्या होगा, वो निकल के बाहर आ जाएगा नेचुरली, नो एफर्ट्स ओनली, नो एफर्ट्स ओनली. And you should look at analytical people, even the way they make notes is pointers ही लिखेंगे, वो bullet points या तो numerical numbers डाल के लिखेंगे, या तो वो step by step ही लिखेंगे, or one answer in one line only they will keep writing. So they're very analytical in that way also. How they utilize their space, how they utilize their time, how they utilize their money also is there. If I'm spending 10 rupees, I also know how much I will get back, how much I will not get back. Sometimes वो बोलते हैं ना यार पैसे तो जाएंगे लेकिन काम हो जाएगा. Can you see this analytical approach? So when it comes to money management, time management, emotional management, so analytical people have this edge on all the other traits. Okay, but you don't have to change your thinking pattern. I always insist people, if it is happening naturally, in case of Swapna ji, Imran, naturally changes हो रहा है, good news, God bless you. Don't force change your personalities or especially your thinking patterns, because that's your processing system. It's very sensitive. It's very sensitive. It's very sensitive. Great. So any questions on the analytical thinker, please? Any questions on the analytical thinker, please?
Sir.
Saruji.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, sir, we just discussed about the satisfaction level for the analytical thinkers. How it will be?
Sorry.
The satisfaction level for the analytical thinkers. How it should be?
Satisfaction
level.
Satisfaction level. In what aspect satisfaction?
Somehow, I think that for analytical thinkers, they being more analytical in any aspects, so they don't get satisfaction easily.
Yes, very true. They will go to the best of restaurant. They analyze that. Okay, Imran, ये तो खाना अच्छा है. वहां पे भी जाके देखते हैं. वहां पे ये order करके देखते हैं. तो next time हम लोग यहाँ पे आएंगे, we will order this also and then we'll try. So they're always on the go. Saroji, सही पकड़ा आपने. So संतुष्ट होना उनकी लाइफ में नहीं आता, because they're always looking at ये बाकी रह गया आज.
That is difficult to change, sir.
Yeah, that is difficult to change. For example, like last Sunday, I was doing a master class. मैंने बोला था 7 o'clock session खत्म होगा. मैंने थोड़ा जल्दी कर दिया. So the one person said, आपने 7 बजे बोला था. Can you see that? पूरा मैंने delivery कर दिया. That is like, Imran, you said. So analytical approach. Are you with me? Yeah. So yeah, Jayaprakash sir, Saroj is asking the satisfaction level. वो कभी संतुष्ट नहीं होते. Because analytical person is always analyzing and always looking for what could be done better, what could be the next way of looking at it and things like that. Yes. वो होता है ना? You tell the person.
Actually, I am acknowledging honesty that I am that kind of person.
Yeah, I know that, Saroji. I know who's asking what type of question. So nothing wrong about being, संतुष्ट होना अच्छी बात नहीं, because when you attain the contentment, there's no scope for it. So don't worry about that. Nothing wrong about it.
I'm not right, sir.
And on the lighter side, Ji. Good to see Saroji. I hope I answered your question. So Lakshmi ji, I saw your hand going up. Yes.
Yes, sir. To tell you very frankly, like signature masterclass, you didn't decode the signatures this time.
Yes.
So even I was wondering what happened to sir, why he's not doing it. So
the audience were different this time, and I was testing. As you know, all the webinars we keep testing, and the volume was high. And we had 2 WhatsApp groups this time because the number of people were really high. So I did not know where to ask people to, send the sample. So I didn't want to create more chaos. So I took a safer side. I said, I will not do that.
Yes, sir. And one more thing I wanted to ask, like in my own life, like whenever I've applied for a job, I've got a job, the employer has been happy with me, but I have never been satisfied with the job. So is it because of my thinking pattern, or is it something else? Because
it's definitely your thinking pattern, because you're always analyzing. You're in a best of position. And sometimes have you not wondering why people, why is still looking for a change? Why is he still looking for change of job, change of relationship, change of commitment? Because they're always looking for a thing. Nothing wrong about that. Nothing wrong.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. My intention is not to make feel all the analytical thinkers feel bad. No, nothing like that. You are like that, and let's accept it. Okay. Yes, Purnima. Next question, please.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Purnima ji. Kya haal hai?
Sir, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How is Chennai? How's the weather there? I know it is from
Hot.
hotter and hottest, right?
It is hotter, sir.
Hotter. जी बताइए please.
Sir, if M and N are cumulative, but H has the analytical thinker, then what will be the calculation?
This is for everybody. The primary letters. Okay. The primary letters when it comes to measuring M's and N's is M and N. These are the primary letters. And supporting letters are H and R. So I will definitely go for primary letters. And if this is the supporting letter, then this does not have too much of value there. So I will go with what is majority M's and N's there.
Okay, sir.
I will go with majority M's and N's. Thanks for the question.
Thank you, sir.
Great. So any other question, please? Or are we clear about the analytical? तो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, how do you analyze when you look at the M's? So everybody look up on the screen. I will show you not only analytical, any M and N you get, what are the things to look at? So when somebody writes anything which is M's and N's, always look at the top of the M's and always look at the bottom of the N's. So when you look at the top, you will be looking at whether this person has the flat tops, or this person has the needle pointed, or this person has the V formation. तो आप जब ऊपर देखेंगे तो ये सब चीजें नजर आ जाएंगी. Bottom में क्या देख रहे हैं हम लोग? Even though there is a V formation, is it needle pointed or is it the flow like that? तो ये bottom में देखेंगे तो हमें पता चल जाए. उसके अलावा to validate, look at the H and the R. So the first thing you need to look at the top of the M's, the bottom of the M's, and then you will get it. Then you will be able to analyze that. So now let's go to the next thinking pattern. Okay, any questions on the analytical, please? No questions? Okay, great. So now,
in that R, how do you see where that V formation is? Can you
not in the, okay. R comes only to validate in the comprehensive, sir. When you have a sharp R, it adds on in the comprehensive. R will not show up in analytical, cumulative, and surface. Only when it comes to comprehension, we also look for a R which is sharp like this.
Okay, okay. Got it.
Thank you for that question. Yes. And now, because I know in the workshop I did not mention about the R, I'm mentioning here. And now I want to show you one more handwriting sample. Now you tell me, what is this thinking pattern? What is this thinking pattern? So आप मुझे बताइए ये कौन सा वाला है? So now you tell me which one is this? What type of thinking pattern is this?
Comprehensive.
What type of thinking pattern is this? Comprehensive, okay. What type of thinking pattern is this? So this is the idea. So when you look at the letters, you will immediately pick it up. You will immediately pick it up. So the idea is about, figuring it out. So I want to show you one more handwriting sample. Now, Imran, I see V formation here, but along with the V formation, there is something else you need to be really looking at it here. So what do you see? More than the V formation, what do you see here? More than the V formation. For example, look at this word most. You see this most? Are you able to see this? More than the V formation, what you see is a needle pointed tops. Are you all with me? Needle pointed tops. Yes, Lakshmi ji, you got that right. Madhav, the handwriting itself is small here, so it will come to the comprehensive than the surface. So this is a comprehensive thinker because the needle pointed tops. So V formation to hai wahan pe. Lekin more than the V formation, what is more prominent is the needle pointed. So look at the sharpness of the ends there. I want to show you that one more time. Look at the sharpness of the ends. Can you see this?
Imran, I have one question.
Yes, yes.
Is there any hierarchy in what you're saying? Like this needle point is more prominent?
Yes.
Of a higher
hierarchy is anything which is sharp has more power than anything which is round. Okay, so even though I'm able to see the V formation there, I know this is analytical ka sample nazar aa raha hai, but the needle point takes over more precedent over the rest of the shapes in the right. So anywhere I see needle point, you will go comprehensive, clear. You will not break your head there. Because the sharpness has overpowered the ability of writing there. So यहाँ पे देखिए sharpness. The moment you see this sharpness coming in, so even though I have this V formation happening at the baseline, what will be more prominent is the needle pointed there. So I will not confuse myself thinking whether ये cumulative है, comprehensive है, कुछ question नहीं रहेगा. This will immediately fall into the category called as comprehensive thinker. And now to validate this, you can also look for other letters, like your H will be also sharp like this. Your R also will be sharp like this. So this is all combinations of the analytical, comprehensive person. So what we are looking at? Sharpness. So पहले हमने क्या देखा? So when we saw the first time, we saw a V formation. Okay, even though we saw the round humps, we went for this V. Why? Japika sir, even though we saw the round humps, we went for the V. Why? Anything which is sharp has more precedent on anything which is round. So here also we saw that here Imran, यहाँ पे भी V formation नजर आ रहा है, but this sharp took over that, so this became comprehensive, and this became analytical. Okay, and then the surface would be again wedge formation. Surface में एक अच्छी चीज आप क्या नजर आएगी? You will exactly feel this wedge formation. ऐसे ऐसे wedge formation रहेगा. So this is the surface part. So even though this is sharp, but this will not be as standing up, as well defined as this comprehension. So this will be a wedge formation. And cumulative will be very, very clear round ends. Cumulative will be very, very round ends. So now let's go one by one. I'm going to show you more samples right now. So that we get more validation. Can you see this? This is all comprehension. Now this will be a more better example for you to understand. How many of you are able to see more better sample now? Imran, yes. Now this is very clear because can you see वहाँ पे V formation भी है, लेकिन what is more prominent there? Needle pointed. How many of you are able to see the needle pointed? And it is very well defined. So comprehensive में है ना, defined letters ज़्यादा अच्छे रहते हैं. Confusion nahi rahega. So even though there is analytical there, but what is more important, look at the sharpness on the top of the N. Look at the sharpness there. Look at the sharpness here. Can you see the sharpness? Even though there is a V formation, but what is taking more precedent there? It is the sharpness, needle pointed top. Look at this. So ye bana comprehensive person. Okay. Now, this is cumulative. Now this handwriting sample itself is very small. Now look at this, round tops. Look at this, round tops. Can you see this? So round here. Can you see that? M-O-U-T-H, mouth. It's so round. It's so round. Are you able to make out the difference now? Okay, now I'm going to show you one more example of cumulative. So maybe that will help you. यहाँ पे देखिए. Can you see this? You can never go wrong with a cumulative thinker. You can never go wrong with a cumulative thinker. Now, I will also show you the difference of the surface thinker now. Now, how many of you agree with me, Imran? This is exactly the way I showed you on the paper. How many of you there? Remember I showed you the wedge formation. See this wedge formation. Ye wala wedge. You will see the same wedge formation there. See this wedge formation here? You see this wedge? See, handwriting में भी वो wedge नजर आएगा. So this is the easiest way of identifying the surface thinker. Can you see here also combined में wedge formation देखिए. यहाँ पे भी देखिए wedge formation. So surface is also very easy. It's you can't really go wrong with the surface. Now look at this also. Now can you see this wedge formation here? See this wedge formation. So now how many of you are very clear? Imran, cumulative, comprehension, analytical, very clear. You can't go wrong. And the reason I'm telling you to do it is you should define, especially when it comes to M's and N's, choose one thinking pattern. A person cannot have multiple thinking patterns. It is acceptable. हम लोग professional program में इसको combine भी करते हैं. How do we do that? We also study a person who has analytical handwriting and also a little bit of comprehension. When they come together, what could be the output? When a person who is cumulative and he also is a little bit of analytical, we also find out what is the probable outcome of it. उसका एक अलग सा behavior बनता है. So when we look at the comprehension and the surface, so a combination भी possible है. हम लोग इसको बोलते हैं trait stacking. But let's not go there now. Only bring in more clarity about put that person in one category and you connect with that person from that category, things will be easy. Are you all with me? Give me a big yes if you're with me on that. Okay. Now I gave you details about the analytical person. Now let me give you details about the cumulative person. So let's find out if it comes to taking decisions, how cumulative people will behave. So who wants to tell me? Or you want to type in, you want to unmute, please बताइए cumulative person के बारे में हमें कुछ खूबियां बताएं. एक point भी बताएंगे तो चलेगा. One thing very prominent about cumulative people. Okay, Vinaya? Yes. And then Saroji? Yes.
Yeah. Cumulative people often accumulate facts at the back of their mind, and they bring out those facts at the time of a discussion.
Okay. Great. And Saroji, आप क्या बताना चाहते हैं?
They should have the accountability more clear, and they go step by step. So retention भी ज़्यादा होता है इन लोगों के लिए.
Great. Yeah, I mean, also say able to see a lot of answers on the chat box. Detail-oriented, procedural thinker, slow learner, calculative, great retention. Good answer. Dr. Reena, Jaiprakash sir, comprehensive, needle point. Okay. Sorry. Yes, sir.
Word says cumulative. That means they have to cumulate, means they have to gather all the information.
Yes.
And they make their analysis.
Yes.
Accumulation.
So, yes. So I always give this example. Like, for example, I want to buy a car. And if I'm a cumulative person, my process of buying that car would be like this. Everybody now look at this. So I met Jaiprakash. Jaiprakash and me discussed about the color of the car. Okay. I met Lakshmi. Lakshmi said, this dealer is better. Okay. I met Saroj. Saroj said, Imran, this variant is good in that car. This model you buy. Okay. Then I met Anshu. Anshu said, Imran, this bank is better. So like this, everything which I need to do in my life, I go on building a wall of brick like this. And one final day, when everything falls into place, that is the day I will go and make that buy. No matter whether there is a discount, whether there is an offer, wo sab chhod dunga main. And the day the last brick is placed, decision done. Have you not come across people who surprise you with their decisions? यार जाके खरीद के लेके आ गया हाँ यार ये सब planning किया था and eventually went and bought that. How many of you are aware of these scenarios where they go do the decision and come back, but the decision was a process? Okay, and sometimes because they get into this process, they miss out on the opportunities. But sometimes it works for them, sometimes it does not work for them. So this is how they take their decisions. Number one. Number two, they take time to learn. Why? उनको हर चीज समझ में आना चाहिए. Okay, they will attend my live class. They will also go and watch a recording, and they will make notes, and they will, come out with more better notes, and then they will, okay, yeah, now मुझे समझ में आ गया. And once they learn, they will not forget. These are the people who will ask you to repeat again. Imran, can you please tell me that again? Imran, you had explained this. Can you please tell it? So they will not mind you asking again, asking you to do it, but they have excellent retention ability. Okay, that's what, Vinaya was talking about. Imran, they put everything, they remember, because what was taught in the 5th standard, what was taught in 7th standard, what we discussed that day, what came out in the meeting. So these are the people who have good numbers because they are very good at retention. Unko retention acha hai. That's why they scare sometimes people by remembering things. Okay, so तीसरी चीज, the coordination between the hand and the mind, the brain is excellent. So they can be good with anything to do with the hand. Sports, cooking, craft, arts, driving, mechanical. The coordination is natural. So they have this beautiful ability. The coordination between the hand and the mind is amazing. Okay. But when it comes to responding to a comment, an argument, or a fight, no, they don't have a ready comeback. Now, this is where the people fail there. Okay, unko bura lag jata hai and they don't know how to say that, and they come back home and they said, I should have said this to him. I don't know why I was standing there and still listening to him. I don't know why I gave him that thing to speak to me. Why did I even go there? Can you see that they actually, वो बोलते हैं ना कि डिसीजन लेने के बाद सोचते ज्यादा है ये लोग, ऐसा हो जाता है. So this is what happens with the cumulative people. And if you have your children at home, one of the best ways I have learned to deal with cumulative people is it requires patience, it requires repetition, and it requires reminders. And that's the best way to deal with it. Children at home, they're cumulative. Okay, उनको बोलने से समझ में नहीं आएगा, आप उनको दिखाकर समझाएंगे. बताने के बाद भी आप पूछेंगे, you agreed to do this, did you do that? And then say, yeah, mama, I forgot, no, I will go do that now. So can you see that? So communicate, demonstrate, and reminder. Then you will get the best of performance. But once they get into that alignment, they will remind you, mama, remember you had to go there, mama, we had to do this, or this is a process to be filled, or this is a place to buy. Last time we gave it for this price. Are you all with me on that? Hey, are you all able to relate to what I'm just sharing with you all? So patience is the key to deal with cumulative people. Please don't label them slow learners as any, they are the best people. In fact, हम लोग जब बच्चों के साथ काम करते हैं, when we are working with students, we ask students to practice cumulative nature, not comprehensive. We don't want them to be one-shot, experts. No, we want them to be cumulative in their approach. So if you really want to bring in more intellectual aspect in your personality, cumulative is the key. देर आए लेकिन दुरुस्त आए. देर आए लेकिन दुरुस्त आए. So cumulative is the key. Good with hands, bad with auto responders or quick responses or immediate comeback. Retention is amazing. When it comes to decision making ability, they are like the building a brick wall. One point at a time. That's how it is. But very slow. Very slow. Not everybody has patience to deal with cumulative people, but if they can learn it, they are going to be an asset in your company. They'll be an asset in your company. Great. So I can see all the smiles of cumulative people. Imran, पहली बार किसी ने अच्छा बोला हमारे बारे में यार. But मुझे एक चीज तो मालूम है, ये बहुत खाना अच्छा बना लेते बहुत. Cumulative people have these amazing hands, you know, amazing things. Okay, there are certain things they do it only. No, कोई और नहीं कर सकता वो. When it comes to their food. Yeah, फाल्गुनी जी, हाँ, हम आ रहे हैं मुंबई खाने के लिए.
Please आइए.
Prita also, I was seeing her hand going up. Prita, cook. Okay, great.
I'm a cumulative thinker and I'm a good cook. So
Amazing.
that was, yeah.
ठीक है, तो lunch फाल्गुनी के साथ, dinner आपके साथ, मैम.
Sure.
Great.
I'm also a cumulative thinker.
हाँ, रूपी जी, हैदराबाद. Yeah, हैदराबाद में. Breakfast हैदराबाद में करेंगे. But I know, I'll tell you one thing about why do you think they're good with food? Tell me, why do you think they're good with food?
बहुत सोच समझ के प्लानिंग के साथ
They follow procedures.
Procedure.
Yeah, when I say food, it's not just about the coordination between the hand and the mind. उनके लिए आप बोल दीजिए, you know, राय के दाने गिन के डालना है, वो गिन के डालेंगे. Okay, that's how they learned it, and now they're able to pull it up that way. So their process to khana banana, I tell everybody, you know what? If you are an awesome cook, the God Almighty has given you all the ingredients to work on your life. अगर आप खाना, which is a, you know, पूरे मिश्रण है, वो पूरे चीजों को साथ में मिलाकर एक चीज बनाना. And if you can do that with a dish, why not with your life? In life is also about all these things, right? You have people who like you, people who are always looking to pull you down. We have people, mirchi bhi milegi, namak bhi milega, you know, adrak bhi milega. So if you know how to make a dish out of it, that's the way. And this
Imran,
is a lesson for everybody. Hi, Chere sir. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Yes, sir.
How about if you're not a cumulative thinker but still a good cook?
Amazing, you are a God, blessing. You know, वो होती है ना, कोई abilities हो जाती है, तो ऐसा नहीं कि हर cook is a cumulative person, but most of the cumulatives are amazing cook.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
हाँ, hold on, let me finish with the Chere sir. So Chere sir, आप किसके बारे में validate कर रहे थे?
I was talking about myself. I told I'm a good cook.
Oh, great. So आप कहाँ रहते हैं next? आपके यहाँ भी हमारी visit होगी फिर?
I am in Delhi. Most welcome.
Oh, okay, great. So दिल्ली में वो breakfast वहाँ पे हो गया, तो शायद चाय के लिए वहाँ पे चले जाएंगे. Very good. Yes, so some of you have this beautiful ability, Chere sir. So you're gifted. That's there. But cumulative people have this coordination. And when I say cumulative, it's just not about the food. Sometimes it's also about, you know, arts and crafts, you know, anything to do with the hand. The coordination is really amazing. So is what I was talking about. Yes. Lakshmi ji, you were saying something.
Yes, sir. Like the first time I cook something, I follow all the procedures. But the next time I lose my patience, I start using all the shortcuts. But it still turns out to be good. So how is it possible?
But पहली वही बोल रहा ना, take some time to learn. But once you learn, the retention is great. So you will bring.
But I'm an analytical person.
That's why I know I have, everybody has their own abilities. But right now, let's not get onto the food aspect of it. But
Yes,
yeah, God bless you. God bless you. I know you're an amazing cook. I see your dishes on the Instagram all the possible time. She bakes well. She teaches how to bake. And we also have one more baker. Shika ji kahan hai yahan hamare? Lucknow se Pune chale gaye wo, and she's a great baker there. Amazing. So this is all about the cumulative people. So we finished analytical, we finished cumulative. Now we're going to go to the comprehensive part. The important part about comprehensive people is that for them, communication at the cost of the speed at the cost of the communication. Ladies and gentlemen, communication at the, you know, cost, the speed at the cost of the communication. These people are very fast. And if a cumulative person is working for you, and if you are a comprehensive person, you lose your temper more often than anything else. because patience is something which is not present in a comprehensive person. So you tend to lose your patience with people who are cumulative. Comprehensive people don't like things to be repeated. Okay. They are, very quick at taking decisions, jumping to conclusions, reaching to the end of it before even, things are declared. So conclusion पे jump करना comprehensive thinkers की आदत होती है. And they're very quick, they grasp things faster, they know how to move from one conversation to another conversation, faster than anybody else. So the only thing which is the problematic there is they speak also fast, they think at the fast, and they think everybody is operating at their own, at the speed that they are operating. So that's where the pitfall is. Okay. For example, if you invite me for a dinner, I'll say, tomorrow I am there. I will not even think twice before I say yes or a no to you, but eventually I'll realize, oh, I can't go tomorrow. Then again, I have to call or fix things or, get on to doing things. And कभी-कभार आप बहुत ज़्यादा fast बोल देते हैं, लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता. And then when they ask you to repeat it, when they don't get it right, you lose your patience. तो ये problem हो जाता है. And I use a word called, they are the troublemakers. Not because they love to create trouble, because they do things faster. उनको समझ में आ जाता है. And because they already know what the teacher is teaching, they already know what is the agenda in the meeting, they already know what is going to be an outcome of this conversation. So they know what to do now. There's nothing to do, so they create trouble. They create trouble. So that's the idea about it. Are you with me? So the only request to comprehensive people is speed is good, but not at the cost of the communication. So you have to learn to communicate better. You have to learn to communicate better. Okay. Saroji, you have a question, Saroji?
No, not exactly. Actually, sir, I was just thinking that regarding comprehensive thinker, so what is needed to be changed?
Okay, nothing, just bring in more patience, because what you need to really understand is the world does not operate as per your speed.
Yeah.
Okay, you think that, okay, आपके दिन में एक बात आ जाती है कि यार इसको क्यों इतना टाइम लगा समझने के लिए, एक बार में समझ में नहीं आता क्या, and think like that. But what you need to really understand is not everybody operates at your speed. If you can bring in that little bit of patience, things will be fine. But comprehensive people are the same students who will study one night before the examination and they score better than the person who has studied the entire week or entire month. Okay, but once the exam is done, you ask that person, he may not remember it. Chances are he may not remember it because he studied it, he went and performed, and he's done for it.
But is there any chance that because of high speed, their performance may get affected?
वो भी हो सकता है. They may overlook certain things. They may not really, check all the boxes. ये भी हो सकता है. That's why if you really look at how many of you know about the pilots who fly the aeroplanes? No matter who you are, okay, you might have flown the flights number of times, but there is a protocol to be followed. You know what? There is a checklist. You have to tick mark every single thing on the thing. So let's hear from Dulon. Dulon is the authority here because she is the flying girl of Global Penmanship Academy. She's been with Air India. She is there for how many years now? Dulon? Unmute.
32 years.
32 years of flying. So Dulon, am I right when I talk about the pilots having the checklist, ticking mark every single thing?
Yes. You have to cross check.
They will not sit down saying that, okay, उसने बोला कि सब ठीक है, नहीं, वो उतरेगा. Even before the passengers board the plane, the pilot is checking with the tires, all possible gears, the fuel, everything. He's wearing that jacket. The service वाला jacket होता है ना, वो पूरा चक्कर लगा के आके बोलता है, हाँ, the plane is ready to board, take the passengers. And then, so everything has to be tick marked. So this is some of the jobs, some of the things, they don't go with your temperamental, they go with the job profile. And they train you to do that way. And until tick mark is not done, not happy. That's why you have, two people managing it. One will be the, what do you call them, Delon?
First officer.
Yeah, first officer. Then there'll be another person who is taking care of it. So that, yeah. So there is no scope for anything getting missed out. So it's not like everybody is dependent upon one person. But even though the pilot has the final say of who's going to be, flying with him and who's going to be deboarded, all these things are there. So maybe, Saroji, if you can bring in this approach, ठीक हो जाएगा. Done. Thank you. So Anshu, I saw your hand going up. You have a question there. Yes. And Vinaya, I saw your hand going up. Question?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you one thing.
Yes.
जैसे आपने कहा कि comprehensive जो हैं, they are fast, एकदम उनको जल्दी जल्दी काम पसंद है, and they are fast speaking as well. Fine. So what should be controlled in handwriting to, a bit of slowness नहीं बोलूंगी उसको, but हाँ, जो इतना ज़्यादा fast reactions होते हैं, जो कभी-कभी तकलीफ दे जाते हैं, तो उसको कैसे control कर सकते हैं हम writing के through?
Okay. In handwriting analysis, we don't want to control anything because हमें लगता है कि anything which you try to manage will add up stress to your life.
Okay.
Okay. So we want you to have the temperamental because it is not easy to get that. It's a gift what you have. But how do you make sure you utilize this? The best of it is, calm yourself down. Irritation will be the first trigger point. आपको गुस्सा ऐसे आएगा और ऐसे भी चला भी जाएगा. आप ऐसे बोल भी देंगे, ऐसे आप, ठीक भी कर देंगे. लेकिन, maybe eye dots will help you to calm yourself down. Maybe the size of your handwriting can be complementary to what you're doing there. Maybe the while loops, maybe, तो बहुत सारे combinations होते हैं. लेकिन जैसे मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, thinking pattern को change मत कीजिए आप. ये आपका gift है. ये आपका processing system है. अगर वो naturally change हो रहा है because you're getting more aware, okay, आपको लग रहा है कि ये सब चीजें ये इसकी वजह से ये हो रही है, then that's why I always follow this law of change. First, bring in awareness.
Right.
And next, you will put yourself in a state of mind where you start exploring. हाँ यार, ये situation में मैं था, and this was what's happening, and you will start exploring. And naturally, then the steps will happen.
Great.
So that's the best way of changing.
Okay, one more thing. I just was going through it. जो आपने analytical का बताया था, उसमें आपने कहा था जो support letters हैं वो H and R हैं.
नहीं, comprehensive में. हाँ.
Sorry, that to validate it. Sorry, comprehensive. है ना? But अगर comprehensive है और उसमें B and the peaks are of N and M are very nice, बिल्कुल अच्छा. But H or R, they are not the peak one, they are cumulative. Then
but we'll still go with the primary letters M's and N's.
M's
and I was telling you, there is also we do a trait stacking जहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत elements लेके आते हैं कि how you will be calming yourself down. तो वो सब चीजें होती हैं, लेकिन अभी we still at this level right now.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Thanks, dear. Thanks. God bless you. Great. So this is how it happens. And now surface thinker. Who are the surface people? See, surface people sometimes, it's a very beautiful ability, and sometimes you get paid to be a surface thinker. People don't want you to do all the work. They want you to get that work and operate at the surface level so that you can take better decisions. Okay. So who are the surface people? Surface people are the people who they take the decision, but all the decisions are influenced by the people around them. So if I am the MD of a company or a CEO of a company, I have a team of people who do market research, they do the evaluation, they do all the project report. Looking into all these things, my job is to say yes for this project or no for this project. And to be that person, I get paid. And why will you reach that level is because you have done all these things. Before you became a CEO or MD, you've underwent this transition. You were into sales, you were into the project management, you were into the research part. Now you have reached a level in your life where you say yes or no matters. where you say yes or no matters. So what about surface thinkers? They're also very quick, they're also very smart, but most of their decisions are influenced by people around them. And they want to be very clear, very close to the line of reality. If you really look at surface thinker, they are very closer to the baseline. Can you see that? They don't go too much away from the baseline. They don't go too much away from the baseline. So if this is the baseline, so they're not going too much away like this. वो क्या कर रहे हैं? वो इतना ही जा रहे हैं. So they want to be close, as much close to the line of reality. So being too practical. So not going too far away from the line of reality. So they like to be as much grounded as possible. So this is how your thinking patterns are. So in the thinking pattern, there are many other traits, like we have practical goals. We also have other things added to it. We also have acquisitiveness. But when it comes to M's and N's, these are the primary thinking patterns. ये आप मालूम कीजिए. You learn how to deal with people like this, utilize their potential to the best of it, you'll work on it. For example, you want somebody to manage your numbers, reports, give it to a cumulative person. If you want to make a good supervisor, analytical people will come handy. Are you with me? And ऐसा नहीं कि ऐसा ही करना है. There are people who do wonders, no matter what type of thinking pattern they have. But if you're really looking at which comes to you naturally, effortlessly, so this could be one of the factors there. Okay, Shikhaji, I saw your hand going up. Question for you, or you have a question? Please ask.
Yeah, this is about the surface thinker. Are their handwriting is always small?
नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है. हाँ, जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन wedge formation वो उनके M से N's छोटे रहते हैं. हैंडराइटिंग बड़ी भी हो सकती है, लेकिन उनके वेज फॉर्मेशन छोटी रहती है. लेकिन जरूरी नहीं कि हर सरफेस थिंकर स्मॉल राइटर होता है.
Thank you.
Most welcome. Great. So, any other question from me?
Yes, sir.
Saroji. And then Ruby. Yes.
Can we consider surface thinker more realistic than others?
Not realistic. They want to be closer to the realistic, so they tend to be more practical, not going too away from the line of reality. So that's what we're looking at. But no, telling them that they're more practical, they're more real than other people, no bad idea. But they don't want to go too much away from the reality also.
They believe more on evidence. This is the evidence or
reports, numbers. And the numbers are brought by others, not their own. वो जाके market research नहीं करें.
They don't want to put more efforts on that.
Yes. So, for example, I have Mr. Charat, who is a who holds a very high position in a company, and he is paid to do that because he has reached a level where he says yes or no because he knows how to read numbers and reports and everything there. So that's how it is. Ruby, you have a question, dear.
Yes, sir. Actually, I was asking like what kind of jobs or the work they can do.
Who?
And you told for the cumulative, like they're good with brain and hands and related to their works, and as well as for the analytical, so what kind of jobs they can do better?
Surface thinkers?
Yes, surface.
Yeah, they can be a good manager, or the people who have to manage a team of people. So yes, sir, it also depends upon what is the job profile. I'm saying on a generic level, but depending upon the job profile, अगर वहाँ पे वो ability की जरूरत है, तो definitely why not? That's why they make you regional managers. That's why they make you division managers, because you know how to get the ball rolling there. So that's the idea. Lakshmi, I saw your hand going up here. What's your question?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to share, I had analyzed the handwriting of a business analyst or the vice president of a company and another of a director. So all of them had this analytical pattern as well as surface.
Because they have grown into that level, right? So they will be able to relate more better, right?
Yes, sir. That's why I just wanted to share that with you also.
Great.
Thank you.
हेलो
हाँ डॉक्टर रीना।
सर, क्या एक स्टूडेंट के लिए सरफेस थिंकर होना सही है?
मेरा एक्सपीरियंस कहता है कि क्यूमुलेटिव बेहतर रहेगा।
या नहीं, बट अगर एक सरफेस थिंकर है स्टूडेंट, तो उसके लिए हम क्या सजेस्ट करेंगे आप?
नहीं, पहले तो थिंकिंग पैटर्न नहीं चेंज करेंगे और
नहीं करना,
नहीं
बट एनी अदर थिंग्स जो हम स्टूडेंट के लिए कर सकते हैं?
नहीं, वो सरफेस होके भी अच्छा स्टूडेंट बन सकता है।
ओके.
He just has to be aware of it, so don't worry about that. How old is the student also depends.
In BSc third year.
Then don't worry about that. He's grown up, he will manage it, so don't necessary. Lekin agar if you want to be a brilliant student, we suggest cumulative, but if you're already a surface, you can still be an awesome student, so don't worry about that. Don't hamper anything. He's grown up right now, so don't hamper it.
Can I say something, sir?
Saroji, please.
Actually, regarding that aspect, I think today's parents, they want surface thinkers for their child. They just want marks.
They just want marks.
ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं, ये देखो.
But I didn't want it to be generic, but Saroji, if you are from the education background, so you will be the right person to say that result लेके आना है बस, कैसे आएगा वो बाद में देखा जाएगा.
ज़्यादा सोचोगे तो फिर नंबर नहीं आएगा.
हाँ, ज़्यादा सोचोगे
एग्जाम होने के बाद सोचना.
Got it again.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. हाँ Preeta.
Yeah, so for me, what I've seen in my writing is, Imran, if I write with a gel pen, like a thicker pen, then that needle pointing in the M's and N's doesn't happen. But now, right now, I'm writing with a ballpoint, which is quite pointed. So it is coming like a needle point, needle point. So ऐसे कैसे मतलब like pen से भी difference आ रहा है writing में. I can actually share it because I've written here and I can see roundings and those needle pointeds are not there.
Pen has, the medium of writing has nothing to do with your thinking pattern because it's a very core part of it, of your personality. So if you look into a detailed manner, you will reach a conclusion there. So maybe you're able to see it more better when you're writing with the
pointed pen.
Pointed pen. So उसमें थोड़ा और needle pointer और define होके आ रहा है. Like the medium of writing has nothing to do with your writing because it's just the medium. It's just bringing it out. So don't worry about that.
See, लेकिन pattern change हो जाता है ना. Like here you see it's analytical and here you see it's accumulative. Like with the change of
it's a V formation. ठीक है, दो चीजें आप देख रहे हैं. Analytical.
Sorry, V formation at the baseline.
हाँ, तो वही तो बोल रहा हूँ. अगर V हो रहा है, ये needle pointed है और ये V आ रहा है. तो अब आप मुझे बताइए यहाँ पे sharp है या यहाँ पे V formation?
No, V formations है. I'm so sorry. That is V formation at the baseline.
हाँ, तो इसमें क्या दिक्कत आ रही है अभी?
No, I'm saying that when I'm changing the pen, so whenever I'm writing a M with a pen that is actually a gel pen, so wo M ka curving is very distinct.
Okay, so I'll make it easy.
Roundings are there. Yeah.
I'll make it easy for you. See, if you're a comprehensive person, even your V formation will be different. And if you're an analytical person, your V formation will be different.
Yeah.
So even if you write, needle pointed, so you can't go wrong here, not with a pen at all. यहाँ पे देखिए मैं मोटा वाला पेन लेके लिख रहा हूँ तो यहाँ पे V formation आया, यहाँ पे sharp भी आया. So the pen has nothing to do with it. So even if you're a comprehensive person, your V formation will be completely different than the V which we actually look at here.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. When I'm writing a M with a gel pen, तो वो proper cumulative आता है. But when I'm writing with a needle pen, it came analytical. मतलब वो नीचे जो V formation आपका first में है ना, वैसे आता है. हाँ, ऐसे आता है. And in general, see the third one and the fourth one. So sometimes I'm writing the third thing and sometimes I'm writing the fourth thing. Fourth M. So
not possible. Okay, you need to share the handwriting sample. Maybe I'll help you to figure that out.
I'll share it with you. Yeah.
Medium of the writing has nothing to do with the formation of the letters. Yeah, it can happen couple of times in the line or in the handwriting, but throughout, no, bad, no, not possible. Deepa ji, you have a question.
This is about surface thinkers.
Yes, please.
Okay. My experience of having a surface thinker very close in the family, I have seen a behavior that fantastic in the office, but the same behavior at home creates lot of pressure among people at home around him. See, what happens is, for everything you see, they want information for everything. Pura ka pura chahiye, everything. 1 + 1 is 1 + 1. Pura likhna hi hai. So this is what they are. And very difficult to, when we are other type of thinkers, very difficult to manage this surface thinkers at home.
Gee, I can relate to that, yes. I can relate to that.
And for everything they have, some things written. Okay, this has to happen like that. The polish of the shoe, it has to be in this brush only. Don't do it with others.
Yeah.
And that at home becomes very difficult. And why they are not able to shift between what they do in the office and what they do at home?
Because
why they are not able to balance it?
No, this is not about balance. Where you spend more time, which is number of hours if you look at in a day, where are they spending more?
Okay, more about the office. Yes.
So the more you behave, it's very natural. It becomes part of your life. You gave an example. I will give you an example based off a policeman. A policeman, he's on duty 24 hours. And because he's sitting with people, he's talking to people every time, unka behavior bhi police is wo ghar wapas aayega, the way he will talk to his wife also is like an interrogation only. Who had come, what time they had come, what did they eat, how did they come, bus nal bandidra illa car nal bandidra, yenge aa kadinda ee kade heng bandu. Can you see that? The wife is actually holding something like interrogation only. That guy is smiling only, but his questions are pretty peculiar of a policeman only.
No, we suddenly become silent in their presence. Okay, we all become silent. We are not comprehensive. We are not analytical. We are nothing. We just are mum.
It's like a neutral gear and park the car.
Yeah.
It does happen. I can relate to it. I understand. So this is how it is. Your job
children
has
copy it, and children copy it.
Yes, but you know what? We are just looking at thinking pattern. But when you were explaining all these things, I can also look at other combinations like perfectionism, deliberateness. I also saw, argumentativeness. So there's so many other traits which came to my mind.
Yes, everything. Yes. Yeah. Whatever you said is all there. Whatever you said is all there.
ये वो होता है ना कि ये intense हो गया, एकदम strong tea हो गई ये तो है.
हाँ. And the best part is when they are listening to their higher ups, they are so calm. Okay, yes, ठीक है. But when they have to say something, okay, ठीक है, give it. This is what it changes. So I just wanted to say that surface thinkers are like this.
Yeah, and why not? They get paid to be that way, don't you?
No, they're not paid to be that way at home. नहीं होता है घर पे.
Great. So I don't know what to say. Maybe you put him here. Maybe we'll have a conversation to him. Bring him here.
His son is there in the class to understand how to deal with the dad. His son is with you.
Thanks. Great. So with this, we have come to an end of today's session.